Is granny chic the new modern farmhouse? Is heritage and collected interiors the new millennial grey? Because I'm starting to think they are. And before anyone gets upset, I am not saying that this style is ugly. I love vintage, I love antiques. Brown furniture, mahogany, pattern, frills, skirts on furniture. I love all of it. But ask yourself, did you see all of these 5 years ago? And if you did, how much more are they in our face right now? Because they're trending. This style of granny chic interiors has risen so fast online. And anything that rises that fast and that aggressively, especially online, falls just as fast. So I'm here to ask, I'm just opening up the discussion. Is granny chic the new modern farmhouse? And hi, if you're new here, my name's Aoife. I'm an interior designer and I love giving you guys interior tips. So let's get into it. So granny chic is everywhere right now, from furniture stores, social media, to Kendall Jenner. The whole philosophy of buying vintage and collected pieces or having really sentimental heritage pieces in your home is beautiful. The philosophy is so nice, but vintage and collected and granny chic don't automatically mean timeless. In fact, I think vintage, heritage, collected, granny chic have quickly become marketing buzzwords to make us buy and change our interiors. They are being sold to us as timeless. They're being used to sell us another very specific aesthetic, and I think we need to distinguish between genuinely collected and buying into the collected look, because a vintage style lamp is not vintage. A truly collected home develops slowly. It contains pieces that have been inherited, pieces found during travel, items picked up at antique fairs, or carried from one home to another. Not everything necessarily matches, and not every piece was selected because it matches in with one particular style. That is what gives it character. It's the story behind the pieces. But that is not necessarily what everyone is doing right now. A lot of people are buying brand new pieces from the likes of Amazon, Dunelm in the UK, Overstock, Wayfair, Target, to create this granny chic collected vintage look. But again, vintage style isn't vintage. It takes out the whole philosophy of a vintage granny chic interior. Like, the whole idea of buying something because it has a collected look, to me, is mind-blowing. But currently there are pieces on the market being sold as that aesthetic. And it's really starting to remind me of the modern farmhouse madness that went into every single new development, even though the houses weren't farmhouses and didn't make sense to have that style. Now, not everyone has access to having beautiful inherited pieces, or have the time or want to go to antique stores or vintage showrooms. And that's fine. The main problem begins when everyone starts buying the same mass-produced version of the collected home. Once we're all starting to purchase the same vintage look furniture, the same vintage look lamp, something with the exact same scallop details, the same framed prints, and the same brown furniture from the same shops, then inevitably it's all going to start to look the same, and it will lose the beauty of what the style actually is. Most interior styles actually develop from a strong philosophy and belief in the style. And when that is diluted so that items can be sold to us, it's just never going to work. And the whole appeal of this style is that it never looks the same. It's supposed to feel layered. It's supposed to feel inherited, mismatched, and a little imperfect. That's what makes it meaningful. And it should always feel so personal and connected to the person living in the home. And you definitely can't buy that from Amazon or Target. No, Jeff is not doing that for us. Basically, when everyone starts copying the same version of the style, it stops feeling personal, and then it's just going to lose the beauty of what it actually is. And that's where it starts feeling like another trending aesthetic. So that brings me around to the title of this video. This is why I'm starting to wonder, is granny chic going to be the new modern farmhouse? You see where I'm getting with this? Not because the two styles look alike, they're completely different. Modern farmhouse is cleaner, more restrained, We saw a lot of white and grey interiors, black hardware, shiplap walls, signs like these, pale timber, and fairly simple furniture. So they actually couldn't be more opposite. Granny chic is so much more layered. Floral patterns, darker furniture, antiques, frills, traditional fabrics, and a little bit more visual clutter. So very different. I'm not saying they're the same. It's more the trending aspect to both of them. Because I actually don't think that there was anything wrong with the modern farmhouse style. I think its popularity is what made a lot of people dislike it. And if you think about it, when modern farmhouse was at its most popular, it was sold to us as warm, timeless, approachable. And it was the alternative to those cold contemporary interiors that people like me grew up with. And also the cleanness of it was so appealing because, again, people like me grew up where there was a lot of pine furniture, pine wood, a lot of allotness. And so modern farmhouse was just so visually refreshing. It felt traditional without feeling overly formal. And people genuinely loved it. Millennial grey also presented to us as timeless. Grey was considered the sensible neutral. And then it was everywhere, from paint to floors, kitchens, everywhere. And people talk now as if millennial grey always seemed dated. But back then, people loved it. And it was sold to us as timeless. Just like granny chic, inherited, vintage, and collected interiors are sold to us right now. Hence why I think these are all marketing buzzwords that are used to get people to buy more items they probably don't need, or buy into an aesthetic that they don't actually love. Because again, I do love granny chic interiors. I love that brown is having this resurgence in color. I've even painted my own kitchen brown. But I do think when something is so heavily marketed to us, people can end up buying it because they see it so much they think they love it. Also, when something becomes so popular, we start seeing really bad versions of it because stores like, no offense, Target, Dunelm, Amazon start manufacturing pieces that are usually cheaply made and are simply being made to get you to purchase a cheap product. And that's never the good base for a good interior. Anyway, I'm going on a rant. I have a structure here, so let's get back into it. At the time, millennial grey and modern farmhouse were loved by the general public. And the problem wasn't necessarily that grey is ugly, even though a lot of people think that now, and they think that brown is a much better neutral to use. But I'm here to tell you, as an interior designer, in my opinion, there is nothing wrong with grey. It just depends on the person you're using it for and the home that it's going into. Grey is an absolutely beautiful color. If we just simply got rid of grey, we'll be sad. It's a lovely color. There's nothing wrong with it. It just has a bad rap at the moment. It's been cancelled. The problem was the aesthetic got completely oversaturated. We saw the same grey floors, the same grey paint, the same grey furniture. That created almost factory-produced interiors. Modern farmhouse went through the exact same cycle. We saw that black hardware, shiplap walls, the same white kitchen. We're not just fans by the general public doing up their homes, but also developers building homes. And of course, those decorative signs that were repeated everywhere. Basically, we saw bad versions of both of these aesthetics, a lot of bad versions. And people didn't start to reject just the bad versions of these styles. They rejected the entire aesthetic. Suddenly, grey was apparently awful. Modern farmhouse was embarrassing. People literally started ripping out features in their home that only a few years beforehand they loved because they had been so strongly associated with one particular style and one particular period in time. And that's the danger with any style that rises so quickly and aggressively online. It becomes so visible that our eyes eventually just get so tired of it. And I think the same thing is going to happen with granny chic. Granny chic, heritage, and vintage are appearing everywhere right now. There's so much vintage inspired furniture. We're seeing brown kitchens, dark timbers, pattern fabric, ruffles, scalloped edges, antique style lighting, and mahogany furniture everywhere, all across social media. And I just think it's a dangerous place for the style to be. Again, I love all these things. I have lots of pattern in my house. I have lots of pieces that I've taken from my granny's house. I think that the philosophy of this style is really, really beautiful. It's the fake quickly made versions of it that bother me, and I think are going to be to the detriment of this overall aesthetic. Part of the reason it's become so popular is because it's the opposite of where we came from. After years of grey, white, clean interiors, people are looking for warmth. They want interiors to feel meaningful, not perfect, which I love. They want brown, they want pattern, they want history and texture, character, but this cannot be bought from the likes of Amazon. Gen Z has particularly embraced old furniture. Even if you look at their fashion, it's all vintage and interiors that feel nostalgic. There is a true desire to move away from mass-produced interiors or mass-produced on any scale. They want to create spaces that feel individual. And I think anyone looking at the granny chic interior or a heritage interior or vintage interior wants the same thing. I completely understand that. I want it in my own home. And from searching for items for my own home, I've seen that it's very easy to fall into this trap of buying this look as opposed to collecting it. There's unfortunately this slight contradiction happening. We're trying to escape interiors that look the same by collecting and adopting another style that is quickly beginning to look the same. Does that make sense? The furniture may now be brown instead of grey, the hardware is aged brass instead of black, and the artwork may look antique instead of modern. But if everyone is buying the same pieces and using the same visual formula, have we really escaped the problem? Or have we simply replaced one trend for another? And I'm not saying that all vintage inspired or granny chic interiors or heritage interiors are suddenly going to become dated. I can see the overall aesthetic becoming dated and it getting a bad rap from bad versions of it. But those who truly collect their pieces and design their space with the granny chic philosophy or the vintage collected philosophy in mind will still love their interiors well past its social media sell-by date. But those who are buying these vintage inspired pieces off of Amazon, Dunelm, I know I keep repeating myself, but if that's where you're finding your pieces, especially antique inspired or vintage inspired or distressed inspired, those will date. Basically, a genuinely traditional vintage or collected home is never built around what is currently performing well online. It reflects the architecture of the house and the personality of the person living in the house. That's what gives it its longevity. And if anyone is selling granny chic as timeless to you, just remember that modern farmhouse was also sold as timeless, as was millennial grey. Now, I do think that there's a lot of ways that we can make a timeless home for an individual. And if you want me to go into that a little bit more, let me know in the comments. I absolutely can. This is what we do day to day in my design studio with clients. But a timeless home is timeless for the individual living in it. It's not made timeless for the general public and especially social media. What's timeless to me may not be timeless to you. And that's okay, because we all have individual style, individual personalities, and therefore should have individuality in our home. Buy the antique because you love it. Maybe it's the story behind it, not because they're currently trending. And never buy antique style. That's just no. Use brown furniture because you genuinely love the richness and the warmth of it. And on the other hand, if you love light wood, but you're afraid of using it because it's now seen as dated because it's associated with modern farmhouse, use it. Because the only thing that matters is that you love it. And light wood is beautiful. It's just that darker wood is now having a moment. And I actually think the people that are purchasing dark wood because it's trending need to be a bit more careful than the person that wants to buy a lighter wood because they genuinely love it. In fact, if you are seeing something that everyone else is saying is dated and you still love it, that's really good. It shows that you genuinely love it. So get it. So, is granny chic the new modern farmhouse? I think it could be. And the granny chic interiors that will date will be the ones that were purchased just to create the look. The difference is whether people are embracing the philosophy of granny chic or just purchasing the items to create the granny chic look. Like always, I would love to know what you guys think in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to subscribe.